everybody, welcome. I'm Zoe Alex, welcome. Basically, you know how you have a funny feeling in your stomach and you don't know what seems to be the problem? Well, basically, I'm going to predict something about Donald Trump's tariffs situation. The tariffs are basically coming to an enclosement basically for March 4th on a Tuesday. I understand that this is just the way of how it is, but my prediction is probably after this consumption of how it is on a Tuesday and beyond the point of what's going on with him. It's basically this is how it is between there are two countries that are basically are at this point. United States and Canada. They're two different countries, right? We are. But the point being is that in this remarkable prediction that I'm going to impose from March 4th all the way to basically March 30th of 2025. This is huge. This is a very huge reading. Very huge. Because I'm going to be doing the tarot reading as well. I'll do the oracle cards and everything else about this whole entire this tarot situation. I understand that the way of how it is, but the point being is that in this remarkable reading, it's basically of how it is, right? And this is the way it kind of goes. But the point being is that in this circumstance, is the way of how it is, and I never did predictions like this before, but in my own gut feelings and how it is, this is the way it needs to be, because it's the way of how it goes, right? And whether if you're local, if you're local of like going grocery shopping, and when you're going groceries for Canadians food rather than Americans food or whatever it is, you have to understand that yes, Donald Trump is putting 25% on what he needs to do, but a lot of people don't like it, and whenever I feel about what's happening and it's not feeling so good, this is the point being, and this is the way it goes. But the mathematics and this whole entire thing is the way of how it goes. But I'm doing my own predictions. I'm doing what's going on. But from between March 4th to March 30th of 2025, this is a huge reading, because this is the way it goes and this is the way it happens. But the oracle card I'm going to read you is this is the way it goes, and says honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. That's the way it goes, where you have honesty. Honesty is basically how it is, and honesty is a great policy there is, right? And when you have honesty, you have the way of how you can do it, the way how you can do what you can. But majority is that you have honesty, right? You have to be honest, right? Yes, there are things that you must learn, but you have to do that, right? This is the way of how it goes, right? Because there is a way of how to do it, but this is just my prediction. That's the way it happens, right? And you have to do what you can. But it's based on that. It's based on how you can have honesty and the way of how it is. This is the way it seems to be, and you need to understand that, because this is the way it goes. This is the way it happens. This is the way it seems to be, and you need to understand that, because this is the way of how you can do it. This is the way of how you can understand and proceed with caution, and you have to believe and read between the lines. That's what it seems to be. But you need to understand that when you have your own way and you have to have your own predictions, you have to pay attention to it. That's why I'm being honest. That's why when you have honesty, you do what you can so you know what to do, right? That's the way it happens, because that's the way it seems to be. Because you have to pay attention whether you have it or not. but honesty is the way how it goes. Honesty is a good ritual of how it seems to be. You need to pay attention to it. You need to have, the aspect of how it goes, because that's the way it seems to be. That's the way it needs to be, and that's the way it goes, right? So that's how it is. Okay. So understand about that. So this is the way it needs to be, and this is the way it kind of goes, and you have to understand, because this is my prediction of what's happening in this way, and you think, okay, well, everything seems to be fine, but it's like, well, not necessarily, but this is the way it needs to be, and you have to understand that, right? You have to do what you can and say, all right, well, this is the way it needs to be, and you have to do what you can. So, that's why I'm going to make basically a beautiful reading with this, but this is just the predictions of what's happening. So, this is going to be interesting, and this is the way it needs to be, because, this is the way it kind of goes, and you have to, do what you can, say, all right, this is the way it needs to be, and you have to, play it by your own set of rules. That's the way it needs to be. So you have to pay attention of what's happening around that boundary, and that's the way it goes. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so basically in this format you have the King of Pentacles is upright. It does represent a working person here. It does represent Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus as her signs. Knight of Pentacles, it does represent trust, or that's the way it goes, but it does represent Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus as well. Now the Tower, that's reversed, and the Five of Swords reversed. There is no conflict yet. There's no transformation. Everything is not changing. But the way of how this is, the way of how this plummets of how it goes, you have to understand that, right? So, the predictions I'm going to predict about, if you're being the working person, you're making money, you do what you can, that's the way it goes. But the tariffs are the main drag. This is the main of how it kind of goes. So I don't want to get too topic with it, but this is the way it seems to be, and this is the way it kind of goes. So I'm just going to do it as the circle and work my way through, and this is just the predictions of how it was. So I'm going to predict what's happening. So I'm going to go from the King of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles. So the Empress is upright, Four of Cups is upright, followed by the Three of Wands is upright. Yeah, because basically what's happening in this situation is where the Empress represents nourishment. Like Donald Trump wants to have nourishment. He wants things to go his way. That's fine. But then the Four of Cups comes because he wants a distraction. He wants things to go his way. He wants to do that. But then the Three of Wands is upright, where he wants to have communication. He wants to communicate. He wants to do what you can. But then, in other words, he has to follow the rules. He has to pay attention about what's going on from his country to the Canadian country. You know what I mean? So that's the way it goes, where he needs to be acting like, okay, everything's fine, but it's like, no, it's not. Right? So this is why this is just the way of how this reading is, but that's the way it goes, right? This is the way it kind of goes, and you have to understand what it seems to be, and this is just the prediction that I'm telling you, but this is the way it goes. So, this could be, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, it could be Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, as the way it goes, but this is the way it happens. Now, between the Tower and the Five of Swords, Eight of Cups reversed, Page of Wands reversed, the Two of Swords reversed. Yeah, because he already knows what path he's going to take, and he already has that. Tariffs are basically in his control, and it's 25% on what's he going to be doing with all the Canadian projects, what he does, and that's the way it happens. And that's the way it goes. But the way of how this is, it's the way of how you can do it as long as it needs to. But this is the way of how this generating is. This is the prediction I'm telling you. But this is the way it goes. So the 8 cups, the page of wands, and the 2 of swords. I'm going to clarify that. The justice reversed, followed by the 10 of swords is upright. Yeah, because he has conclusions. He wants to have conclusions. He does that because that's what he does. And everything needs to be all plummet and everything the way it goes. But this is the way it seems to be. And you have to understand, okay, well, things will go into a certain place at a certain time, but there's a different angle of how it is, and you think, okay, well, I know what to do, but it's like, yeah, but it's not going to do that. It's the way of how you can look at it and say, all right, well, this is the way it goes, right? That's the way it seems to be. And the 10 wands is upright for burdens, the 6 pentacles is upright, and the moon reversed, followed by the emperor is upright. So basically he has structure, right? He wants to be having structure. He wants to act to be like a king, He wants to do that. He wants to have the 6 pentacles because he wants to act kindness, that's the way it goes. And the 10 wands is upright where he has burdens, that's the way it goes. But that's the way of how everything is, and this is how complex it is, because everything is all complex. Everything is basically of how it is, right? This is not a turpentine. This is not how it is, but this is the way it goes. This is the way you need to understand about, all right, well, this is the way I need to do it. This is the way I can do it. This is the way I need to, do what I can, but this is the way it goes, right? And when you believe it, you have to understand, all right, well, this is the way it happens. And when you look at this, you think, okay, well, everything needs to be how it is, how I can do it. But then it's like, well, this is just a prediction. It is a prediction. And when you have predictions, you need to understand that. It's the way of how you can do it. And when you do that, that's the way it seems to be. So, this is the way it goes. So I'm going to go from the left side, work my way through. So the Hangman is upright, there's restrictions. The King of Swords is upright, there's knowledge. And the Fool reverse, there's no change, nothing. That's the way it goes. Where if Donald Trump is still doing his terrorist of 25% of it, that's the way it goes, right? And he has restrictions. He has the ability of that from the right and wrong perspective. That's the way it goes, right? Because there are things they must learn in order to do that, but that's the way it goes, right? The Fool reverse, let me clarify that. The Lovers is upright, yeah, because he wants to have decisions. He wants to do what he can in order to do that, because he wants to satisfy his own country, dealt that, right? But the ability from that, you have to understand about the nonsense, how he can do it. But the thing that he needs to learn, he needs to do it in order to do that, right? It's a process to understand and say, all right, well, here it is. This is the way it goes. I need to do it, but this is the way it goes, right? This is the way it seems to be, and you think, okay, well, I know what to do, and you have to do that. Because you have to do it, right? This is the way of how you can do it in one way or another, but that's how it seems to be. The Four of Wands is upright because there's celebration. 2 Pentacles is upright because there's, balancing. The Cups reversed, there's no entertainment. 5 of Cups is upright, there's grief. The Chariot reversed, there's no progress. The 10 Pentacles is upright, there's a career. 9 of Swords is upright, there's basically fear. That's the way it goes. Trauma and things we're gonna go through. The Queen of Cups reversed, there's no empathy. The Judgment reversed, there's no action. The 10 of Swords is upright, there's conclusions. Yeah, that's the way it needs to be, because that's the way it is. It's almost like an outflow into like an inflow situation. But when you look at it, you think, okay, well, this is the way it goes. But this is not going to be untrue, but it is true. This is the way of how I'm predicting it. Because from March 4th to March 30th, that's the way how it is, right? That's the way it goes. And when that is, that's the way of how predictable it is, because that's the way it goes, right? So when you have all these conclusions, when you have all these decisions, when you have all these celebrations, when you have all these, you know, griefs and in situations, Canadians don't like it, Americans don't like it, but that's how it goes, right? You win some, you lose some. That's the way it goes. Where, it's the way of how you can do it. It's the way of how you can understand that, right? That's the way it seems to be. So I'm going to clarify this Ten of Swords here. You feel fortune reverse, there's bad luck. The Justice reverse, you're not telling the truth. The Lovers reverse, there's no decisions. The Fool is upright, there's change. The Sun card, there's negativity. Yeah, because that's the way it goes. So, things are not going that way, but then it is, right? Because this is the way it needs to be. And when you have change, when you have discipline, when you have things are not going well, it's like it's not going right. And when you think that, when things are not going your way, you're getting irritated, you're getting irresponsible, you're not feeling fair. You're feeling unfair. And that's how it is, because when you're having bad luck, things are not going your way, you're going to say why. That's the way it goes, right? So you have to understand of how things it is, but that's how it seems to be. The Strength card reverse, yeah, there's no strength. The Hermit reverse, there's no solitude. The Judgment reverse, there's no action. The Tower reverse, there's no transformation. The Devil reverse, there's no violence. The Moon reverse, there's no misrotations. The Chariot reverse, there's no progress. The Magician upright, there's skill. The Emperor's reverse, there's no nourishment. The Death card is upright, there's endings. The High Priestess is upright, there's like you're using your inner voice. The Temperance is upright, there's healing. The Star reverse, there's no misrotations. The World reverse, there's incompletion. Yeah. The Hangman reverse, there's no restrictions. But the Emperor is upright because there is structure here. That's the way it goes, right? Because when you have structure, you are basically having the ability to build. That's the way how it goes, right? So that's the way it seems to be. But overall, that's how it is. The Justice reverse, you're not telling the truth. The Emperor is upright because there's structure. Yeah, between you have structure here and you have structure here. That's the way it goes. So I'm going to clarify this Emperor here. The Emperor's reverse, there's no nourishment. The High Priestess reverse, there's no the guidance. The Fortune reverse, there's going to be bad luck. The Star is upright, there is inspiration. Yeah. The Hangman is upright, there's restrictions. The Tower reverse, there's no transformation. The Death card reverse, there's no endings. The Fool is upright, there's change. Yeah, that's the way it goes, right? Everything's changing. That's the way it goes, right? And people are like saying, well, we don't want to go this way. We don't want to go that way, That's the way it goes. Everyone has decisions of what they're going to be doing, and that's how it is, right? Because that's the way it goes. You're going to sacrifice. You're going to do your own things, and that's the way it needs to be. Because that's the way it goes, right? So what's this Emperor is? The Magician reverse, there's no skill. The Hierophant is upright because you want guidance. You want things to go your way. The World reverse, there's no completion. The Moon reverse, there's no mismutations. The Tower is upright, there's progress. Yeah, because you have progress, right? And when you have progress, everything is going the way it goes, right? Because that's the way it seems to be. And when you think that, alright, well, this is the way I need to do it. This is the way it needs to be. Because, the circumstances are here. And the circumstances are the way it goes, right? Because if Donald Trump is saying that he wants 25% of the terrorists, and he wants to do it, and he wants to, do what he can, and drop off the line and whatever he wants. You know, Donald Trump is the president of the United States. Like, I'm not being mean or rude to him. I'm not. But the way of how this is, you know, whatever I see it on the news and everything else, and people don't like the 25% of the terrorists or anything like that. You know what Donald Trump is doing. Like, I think that, in my own words, like, I think that he's jealous of Canada. Like, I think that, right? But I don't know what to do. I don't know how I can explain it, because this is the way it goes, where you need to understand the way of how you can do it, the way how you can understand, and that's just the way it seems to be. But then you have to understand that this is just the way it goes, right? Because when things go a different way, when things go, out of hand, or go south, or whatever it is, something isn't right, something isn't, being honest, like, something is wrong, and that's how it is. Because when you have the fool on your right side as the fool that you're going to change something, and on the right and on the left side you have basically, the chariot that represents change, or progress. I mean, you have the ability from that, right? That the fool is like you're changing, right? Like, you're going to change on that, right? And you have the progress as chariot, because the chariot is having progress, right? There are things that you understand that, right? Because you have to understand that this is the way it needs to be, and this is the way it seems to be on that point, right? Because what I'm saying is that, there are things you must learn first. In order to do that, you need to pay attention to it. Like, do some research, do lots of things, because when you have 25%, like, that's wow. That's like a quarter, like, that's how it is. And when it's that upright, when it's that decision, whatever it is, you have to pay attention to it, right? That's why, between both countries, between Canadians and United States, it's different, right? That's the way it goes. But the way of how it is, you have to know about how it is, how everything is, like, accumulating, everything is, and you have to be how you can do it. And when things go into the way of how it is, whether things will go out of hand, out of place, how you can do it, you have to understand that, okay, well, this is the way how it is. This is the way of how I can believe it, how I can take it, how I can be on this point. That's how it is. Because in theory, you have to believe it. This is the way how it is. You have to understand that. This is the way of how it is. Beyond that magnificent point of how it is, right? Because there is a mechanism of how it is, right? Because when things are attached, when things are going into a different direction, that's how it is, right? Because whenever I'm talking about Donald Trump, or whenever I talk about, whoever, how it is, you have to pay attention, because you have to understand about what's going on, what's beyond that point, right? And whenever I look at the news, whenever I, hear him, whatever it is on the news, and he's saying this, and he's saying that, whatever it is, it's like, well, do I have to pay attention to him? Basically not. Because I'm just a Canadian. But you know what I mean, right? That's the way it goes, because you have to understand that, well, we have to have our own differences. This is the way it goes, where, you have to compromise, you have to negotiate, you need to do whatever you need to do, right? You have to plan on that, right? It's, everything has to be how it is, right? Because you have to pay attention to it, right? Because when it's that time of beyond that point, you have to do what you can, because you have to do it. You have to beyond that physical desire of how you can do it, right? You have to use your own control, your own theory, your own based on it, because You have to understand that because you have to pay attention from the right and wrong perspective. That's what it seems to be, right? That's the way it goes, okay? So we're almost done with this, with this prediction of this whole entire reading. But the way of how this is the way of how it kind of goes, because that's the way it seems to be. So what's going on in the middle situation here? But just in reverse, yeah, because you have no skill, right? It's the way of how it is, and you're saying why there's no skill here, because there's no skill. Now, in that perspective of how it is, you have to say, all right, well, this is the way it goes, I can do it. But it's like, wait, it's not, right? So you have to understand that. But this is beyond of how it is, and you have to understand of how it seems to be. So I'm going to go from the middle to the left and middle to the right. So the Six of Cups is up right, there's the past. The Three of Pentacles is up right, there's the, celebration, like your excitement. The Four of Wands is up right, there's celebration. The Sun is up right, there's positivity. The Ace of Wands is up right, there's a new beginning. And the Tower is up right, there's transformation. Yeah, see, I just said that. Everything is changing. Everything is transforming. Everything is what's going on. Because, whatever happens in this majority, that's the way it goes. Because when the Six of Cups comes, that's the past. You have the past about, buying, Americans' products and everything else, right? That's the way how it is. But that's the way it's beyond that point. That's the way it seems to be, right? So you could be dealing with another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You can deal with another Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. You can deal with another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. That's the way it seems to be, right? So that's the way beyond that point. Two of Cups, there's like friendships, relationships. The King of Swords, there's knowledge. Death for reverse, there's no endings. Nine of Swords reverse, there's no trauma. The King of Pentacles is upright. The Temperance is reversed for no healing. The High Priestess upright because you're using your inner voice. The Knight of Swords reverse, there's no drama. Knight of Cups is upright, there's fulfillment. The Queen Wands is upright. Queen Wands reverse, there's no charisma. The Wands reverse, there's no speed. Yeah, because there is low speed right now, but that's how it is, right? The Five of Cups reverse, there's no grief. Knight of Wands is upright, there's something like being immature. That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it's beyond that point. Judges upright, there's action. Queen Pentacles reversed, followed by the Fool is upright, there's change. Yeah, that's the way it goes, right? That's the way beyond that point, right? And the Page of Cups reversed, there's no loyalty. The Strength card reversed, there's no strength. The Magician is upright, there's skill. Yeah, that's the way it goes, right? Because that's the way it seems to be, where, he needs to understand that. It's the way of how you do what you can and say, alright, well, I know what to do, I can do it, but this is the way it needs to be. It's like you have to face your own action, and you have to do that. What's this oracle card says? The word of Lord, it says communication, praise, dishonesty. Yeah, because he could be having communication, and he could be having having praise and whatever, but he could be maybe having dishonesty. Maybe he needs to understand that, because the way of how this is, it's like when you have communication, you have to communicate. That's the way beyond that point. That's the way of how you can do it, right? Because you have to use your communication skills. That's the way it beyond that point, right? That's the way it seems to be. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. So what's going on the left side, the middle, and the right. Let's see. The Seven of Earth, seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. That's the way it goes. where it needs to be understanding about how it is and how it remains. But that's the way it goes in this prediction that I'm telling you all, because that's the way it goes, right? That's the way it's beyond that point, and you can see it, right? That's the way it seems to be. But this could be happening. It could be Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. And in the middle, let's see, the Four of Earth is being too various or too cautious with money, good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. Yeah, basically you could be having having good decisions of having that, how it is, but that's beyond how it seems to be, and that's the way it goes. But that's how it is, right? That's the majority of it. So you could be dealing with in the Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. And this one, let's see, the Dreamer, Archangel Metatron. A leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. Yeah, this could be unexpected opportunities, because it is unexpected. This is the way of how it is, but this is just the reading that I'm telling you all. But it's just a prediction of what's happening, and you need to understand that this is the way it goes, because this is beyond that point. This is the way of how you can do it, but this is how it seems to be, right? That's the way it kind of goes. So that's how it seems to be. Let me see what the universe is saying for this. I'm gonna go from the middle to the left, middle to the right. So the High Priestess is upright, there's a new voice. The Five of Wands reversed, there's no chaos. The Two of Wands reversed, there's no planning. Three of Cups is upright, there's celebrations. Six of Cups is upright, there's the past. The Ace of Pentacles reversed, there's no growth. The Four of Wands is upright, there's celebration. Yeah, that's the way it goes, right? Because that's the way it seems to be, and that's beyond that point. That's the way of how it goes, but you know how it seems to be, right? The Hangman is upright, there's restrictions. The Five of Pentacles reversed, there's no insecurity. The Three of Swords is upright, there's heartbreak. Queen of Pentacles is upright, there's stability. Six of Swords is upright, there's movement. Seven of Swords is upright, there's deceit. The King of Cups reversed, there's no support. The Knight of Wands reversed, there's no immaturity. The Emperor reversed, there's no nourishment. The Wands reversed, there's no speed. Yeah, exactly, right? That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it seems to be. The Lovers is upright, there's decisions. The Six of Wands reversed, there's no achievement. The Queen of Cups reversed, there's no empathy. Ace of Wands is upright, there's new beginnings. Yeah, that's the way it goes, right? Because everything has to be how it is, because beyond that length and beyond that point and how it is, right? That's the way it seems to be. What's in the middle of the situation here? The Two of Swords is alright, you're in the crossroads. The Magician is alright, there's skill. That's the way it goes, right? Because when you have that, it's like you don't know which direction you're going to take, left or right, but that's the way it goes in this prediction that I'm telling you. So what's happening between these Two of Swords here? The Nine of Swords is alright, there's trauma. The King of Pentacles reversed, there's no security. Judgment reversed, there's no action. The Ten of Pentacles reversed, there's no wealth. Wow. And the Eight of Pentacles is alright, there's perfection. Wow. The Emperor is alright, there's structure. And the Five of Swords reversed, there's no revenge. Tower is alright, there's transformation. Yeah, because everything's changing. You know, that's the way it goes. Left, right, and center. That's the way it goes. What's between this Magician here? Nine of Cups is upright, there's fulfillment. The Three of Pentacles reversed, there's no excitement. But the Two of Cups is upright, there's relationships. Yeah, that's the way it goes, right? Because that's beyond that point. That's beyond about that centerpiece. That's the way of how it goes. You think, okay, well, everything's fine. It's like, yeah. But you need to pay attention on how it is, and you have to know what's happening in this wonderful section of how it is, and that's the way it goes. So I'm going to read you the Enchanted Map, and I'm going to see what's happening in this prediction. That's what's going on, and this is the way of how it is. So I hope you all like this video. Please give it a like, please give it a comment, and enjoy. And this is the way it seems to be. So let's see. Right. Let me read you this, okay? So we get a magic string that's reversed for number 18. This is very interesting. Interesting. So it's reversed. Alright. Alright. Let's see what's going on. Alright, here we go. In a reverse position, the magic string card represents swimming against the current. There are times when effort and sheer willpower result in victory and celebration, but this isn't one of them. You can't force inspiration, you can't manufacture creativity, lest you borrow too heavily from others' ideas. Neither can you make someone love you or orchestrate a series of events that might place you in a more favorable position. Now is the time to drop the trying and jump into the stream and float. Immerse yourself in the experience of being fully present with whatever is true for the moment. You will never step in the same river twice anyway. So basically it means that swimming against the current. So basically, you know, you're trying to get there, but you know, beyond about this point about what the terrorists are doing and everything else, it's basically how, you know, reckless it seems to be, right? It's the way of how it goes, where, you know, Donald Trump is doing what he wants, you know, and he does, right? But the point being is that when he does the terrorists and when he does that, he's probably like making money. He wants to make money. He wants to do what he wants, and yes, you know, he is the celebrity of it as well. But the point being is that you have to understand about, you know, you have to beyond about how you can do it, because you have to see it, you have to believe it, you have to do what you need to be, you have to be told what you do, because you have to say, alright, well, I know what to do, I got this, I know what to do, and that's how it seems to be. You have to believe it, because in order to do that, in order to, you know, understand the way how it goes, you have to understand, and that's the way how it goes. So you have to understand the way of how this is, the way how this is going to influence and how it is. You have to do what you can, because everything is going to be all accumulated. Everything has to be how it is, because he has to believe that, you know, everything has to go from his way or not at all, right? You have to pay attention about it, because the way of how this is, it's going to go from the good way or bad way. But, you know, it all depends. But this is the way it goes, and I hope you all like this video. Please give it a like, please give it a comment, and enjoy. And this is just my prediction, but this is the way it goes, and this is how it seems to be. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all, and I'll see you next time, and thank you so much. Bye for now, really, and bye.